Welcome to another body language video. Today we're going to be looking at a video of Rihanna when she talks about domestic violence and with her old boyfriend, Chris Brown. This is a really sensitive video and we're going to use it to look at her body language when she's describing what she went through. And I'm going to point out some things on the way, but we'll watch the entire video.
Now of Rihanna, the singer on top of the charts and on top of the world. And then last February, she was physically assaulted by her equally famous boyfriend, always known as one of the nice guys, Chris Brown. They were just 19 and 20 years old, and experts say it's a characteristic of adolescent explosions that they often start with both partners in a taunting situation they're not able to diffuse. So here again, Rihanna, on the night that began so happily with the boy she loved.
He was definitely my first big love. We were best friends, so we fell in love with each other. To fall in love with your best friend, it can be scary.
Scary.
We just fell really fast. The more in love we became, the more dangerous we became for each other, equally as dangerous, because it was a bit of an obsession.
If you notice that shrug, there's a bit of a shrug when she says a bit of an obsession almost. That's a really interesting piece of body language. She's shrugging. Now it might be because she's just switching her legs or adjusting herself in her seat, but the shoulders come up and her mouth opens at the same time, like she's gasping for air when she's talking about the obsession. She is making her body smaller by that shrug. It's almost like a physical demonstration of how the obsession might have made her feel. It might have made her feel the feelings of being trapped or restricted.
Almost.
Flash forward. February 7th, 2009, the couple had attended a party for the Grammys. He was just 19, she 20.
We had a blast that night.
In the car on the way home, she says Chris is driving, and she saw a text message on his cell phone from a girl and got angry.
I caught him in a lie, and he wouldn't tell the truth. So I wouldn't drop it. I kept saying I couldn't take that he kept lying to me, and he couldn't take that I wouldn't drop it.
If you notice here, I couldn't take that he was lying to me, she says. Her lower jaw has slightly moved forward, and therefore her lower lip has moved slightly forward, and it showed a kind of face of disgust perhaps, or anger, or sadness.
Because obviously his back was up against the wall. The truth is right here in the text message. So it escalated into him being...
Sorry, I just need to freeze it somewhere to show you this really interesting facial expression that she has. If you just freeze the video.
Him being violent towards me. And being violent towards me. And it escalated into him being...
Well, there's a better one you can do, but this is one of the freezes. Her expression is very brief, because it's so brief I couldn't catch it, that's why I had to go back. But there is a lot of unhappiness in this face, and a lot of fear as well. Her lips are turned down, she's frowning. I know it looks like she's a bit dreary-eyed here, but there is a nicer shot which I've got in the past of her in this video where she looks very scared because of her lower lips turned down and because of this frown here.
Violent towards me, and it was ugly.
So in 1:55 there was a very heavy swallow, if you noticed, and then 1:59 just now she coughs and seems to have a clog up in her throat quite suddenly. Sometimes in discomfort, nervousness or distress, or if we're in fact reliving a distressing experience, swallowing can become difficult, therefore more pronounced, or in some people the throat becomes dry with stress, even if we're reliving a moment we're not in right now.
The police report says he continued to drive while they fought. She says he shoved her against the window. At one point, bit her, punched her in the left eye. At one point, your mouth is filled with blood.
Yes.
How did you think it was going to end?
That's all I kept thinking the whole time. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? He had no soul in his eyes. Just blank. He was clearly blacked out. There was no person when I looked at him.
Right now, just in a couple of seconds, when she says, I was bleeding and I was swollen in my face, she will say that soon. Her voice will quiver slightly, and that might be sadness, might be fear, anger, a mixture of them. But it's very interesting how her voice very suddenly changes.
I was battered. I was bleeding. I was swollen in my face. There was no way of me getting home.
So when she said swollen in my face, her voice quivered. It's a very sensitive video, and I mean, if you want to watch the rest of it, then please do. But my watching of it has finished, and I hope you liked it. Thanks.